Today is Wednesday, and Wednesday of Holy Week was the quietest day of the week. Consider the last 3 days. They were pretty loud days. Start with Palm Sunday, and you have the parade-like atmosphere. Monday, you have Jesus going into the temple and it's cleansing the temple, flipping tables over, stopping people from buying and selling in the temple. And then you have yesterday, where Jesus runs into a lot of confrontation with the religious leaders, the Sadducees and the Pharisees and the teachers of the law, going back and forth. And now you come to Wednesday. Not much is said in the gospel about what happens today. More than likely, Jesus still was going to the temple and was still teaching there, but he wasn't having any confrontations with the religious leaders. Instead, they were gathering amongst themselves, plotting Jesus' destruction.
Now the Passover and the Feast of Unleavened Bread were only 2 days away, and the chief priests and the teachers of the law were looking for some sly way to arrest Jesus and kill him. But not during the feast, they said, or the people may riot.
While the religious leaders were preparing to kill Jesus, Jesus was being prepared for his death.
While Jesus was in Bethany, in the home of a man known as Simon the leper, a woman came to him with an alabaster jar of very expensive perfume, which she poured on his head as he was reclining at the table. When the disciples saw this, they were indignant. "Why this waste?" they asked. "This perfume could have been sold at a high price and the money given to the poor." Aware of this, Jesus said to them, "Why are you bothering this woman? She has done a beautiful thing to me. The poor you will always have with you, but you will not always have me. When she poured this perfume on my body, she did it to prepare me for burial. I tell you the truth, wherever this gospel is preached throughout the world, what she has done will also be told in memory of her."
That incident that night was a tipping point for one of his disciples who had had enough of Jesus and his ways, and set into motion what eventually would culminate in Jesus' death.
Then one of the 12, the one called Judas Iscariot, went to the chief priest and asked, "What are you willing to give me if I hand him over to you?" So they counted out for him 30 silver coins. From then on, Judas watched for an opportunity to hand him over.
Paul tells us in 2 Corinthians 2:14-16, "Now wherever we go, God uses us to tell others about the Lord and spread the good news like a sweet perfume. Our lives are a fragrance presented by Christ to God, but this fragrance is perceived differently by those being saved and by those perishing. To those who are perishing, we are a fearful smell of death and doom, but to those who are being saved, we are a life-giving perfume." To Judas, the perfume was a waste of money that finally sealed his betrayal. To Jesus, it was a sweet-smelling offering of love and devotion. The perfume was of such high value that the disciples were shocked that it was wasted on Jesus. What have you offered, or what could you offer to Jesus that is of such high value? Perhaps your time, your talent, your treasure, that others would be shocked that you wasted it on Jesus.